Okay, I have my nose here, I have my tea here, and let's talk about getting into your dream masters in the Netherlands. In 2024, I got admitted for my dream master's degree in the Netherlands. It was in UvA, so in Amsterdam, and also in Utrecht. The programs I have chosen were biomedical sciences in UvA in Amsterdam, cognitive sciences also in UvA, and then innovation sciences and neuroscience and cognition at Utrecht universities. So as you can see, I got really neuroscientific background, and I also got all 4 master's degree in the sphere of science and neuroscience specifically. And I got into 3 out of 4 of them, and now I'm pursuing innovation sciences master degree in Utrecht University, which I really love. So today we're gonna talk about how you can get admitted into your dream master's degree in the Netherlands and what specific steps do you need to take in order to become a student in there. Firstly, the documentation which you really need to get into, then how to write a motivational letter. We're also gonna speak about pros and cons of studying in the Netherlands, and all those like small things which you need to know, which are pretty implicit, and those could not be found on the website, basically. So if you're interested in specific steps of how to write a motivational letter, and I got 8 of them, firstly for my bachelor degrees, also in the Netherlands, and then for my master's degree, just hit a subscribe button and also write a comment about that so I can create a video if you're interested in. Firstly, let's talk about pros of studying in the Netherlands and in Utrecht or Amsterdam specifically. But I think it's also applicable for any other program in Delft or in Maastricht, in Venlo, in Wageningen, and so on and so on. I think the first reason why you should consider studying in the Netherlands, especially if you are an international student, is that the community here is very international. What do I mean by that? Is that 25% of the students are international. Furthermore, 98% of people in the Netherlands speak English. So you can get along with almost anyone without speaking Dutch, although speaking Dutch is, of course, very respectful and polite if you're living in their country, but it is possible to live here and to study here without speaking Dutch at all. Second reason why you should consider studying in the Netherlands is the education quality. And the education quality, especially for the degrees, especially the master's degrees, is really high. Most of them are taught also in English. Just universities are very high in rankings. So if you look at the website of QS Rankings, which is famous and known worldwide, you can see that UvA is here, Utrecht is this number, and Delft is this number. The third reason to study in the Netherlands is that Netherlands is a huge hub for innovation. I know that because I do my master's degree in innovation sciences at Utrecht, but it's also known fact that Netherlands is second worldwide agriculture export country, and that there is 2 amazing, the first in the whole world universities on the agricultural side, Venlo and Wageningen. If you're interested in innovations in semiconductors and technology, then Delft and Eindhoven universities are just for you. If you are more on the law side, then of course consider Maastricht University. And if you like biomedical sciences or just normal natural sciences, then you should consider Leiden for the neuroscience. Then of course Utrecht for innovation sciences and veterinary sciences. And Amsterdam is of course amazing for any of those. Of course, if you are thinking of pursuing a degree somewhere in the water management or sustainability or resource management, Netherlands is the best place for that. Finally, if you're interested in getting a Dutch passport somewhere in your life, you need to study 5 years in the Netherlands in order to be eligible for that. Your study years are also counted towards being capable of obtaining a Dutch degree. You also need to know a language, but as this video is specifically about getting your dream place in your master's degree in the Netherlands, I will talk about getting a Dutch passport later. Although I said that there are a lot of amazing reasons why you should pursue a master's degree in the Netherlands, you should also consider several cons. The first con is that in this year, fiscal year, there is a huge budget cut on Dutch education, about $1 billion. I mean, euros, but almost the same. Although it doesn't mean that the quality of Dutch education will fall, it does mean that extracurricular activities would be less funny and there would be just less of them. Furthermore, there is still almost 3 years already a crisis of housing, especially for students, and it's really difficult to find a place to live if you study in the Netherlands. Furthermore, Dutch government formed a pretty right coalition right now, so some new policies could be a little bit more right and less international friendly, which is also important to consider as a climate of living in the country. So now you know all the pluses and minuses about studying in the Netherlands, and let's just speak about the process. It is important to say that, of course, the process is different for people who are from Europe and not Europe, but those are the details. Let me talk about some general rules which every student must apply and have in their background to be eligible for studying in the Netherlands. So, of course, rules are different for people who studied in the Netherlands before, like their bachelor degree, who did MBO or HBO. Those are different types of the Dutch education, but they also differ for students who came from Europe and, well, not Europe, international students. But those rules are very specific, so I'm going to speak about the general rules for everyone. Firstly, if you are thinking about getting a master's degree in the Netherlands, you should know that there are two types of them. First one is a research degree, and the second one is applied research degree. The difference is that in the research degree, you usually write a thesis, and then it lasts about 2 years, but the applied degree is usually 1 year. For both programs, you need to have a bachelor degree before it, and usually if you consider to do a Master's of Science, you do need to have a Bachelor of Science. And the same one is for the Masters of Arts. You need to have a Bachelor of Arts. To submit your application, you need to have grades higher than 7. It's B+ if we speak about English or American educational system. These subjects must be relevant to what you are going to study. You also need to have some research skills and statistics because you are going to do research. Then you must write a motivational letter and have a resume or a CV in which you tell which extracurricular activities, work activities, jobs, or just publications you had, which are also relevant for your degree. If your bachelor was not in American, English, or any English-speaking university, like bachelor in the Netherlands, it is mandatory for you to do TOEFL or IELTS test to convince people that your level of English is okay to study in the Netherlands. Also, if you are doing a really research master's, there could be the case that you will be asked to submit your papers and the pages you wrote for your bachelor degree to see your level of academic English. Then the process itself. So to be an early bird, and the early bird is a person who submits their application very early and receives the answer from the admission board very early. You need to submit your documentation somewhere in October. I submitted my documentation actually on my birthday on the 12th of October, and I received my answer in December. The whole admissions process is also different from students who came from Europe and from other countries, but the overall idea is that it starts somewhere in October and ends somewhere in April or May, but the end date depends on where you're from. Usually answers came on 2 levels. Firstly, they came for the early birds, and then they came for people who submitted their application later on. There are several options of how your answer for your master's degree could be. Firstly, you could receive a waitlist later, which means that you will receive your answer after the application deadline. You could also receive your answer immediately, and you can be unconditionally accepted if you already finished your bachelor degree, but most likely you will receive an email or a letter which states that you will be admitted to your master's degree after you have finished your bachelor and you have obtained your bachelor degree. This is the main condition they have for almost every student to be capable of studying in masters. You can only apply for 4 master's degree, and you usually do that via StudyLink and also in internal systems of each university you would like to get admitted to. So those are the things which you really need to know. Let's then speak about my personal experience about getting into Dutch university. Firstly, you need to understand that applying for university is almost like a full-time job. So what do you need to know about me is that I've finished my Bachelor of Science at Maastricht University. This is also a Dutch university, so my process was a little bit easier as I already had my study visa, and I did all the application for the ING and for the immigration office. but they still ask me to submit the same forms, that I don't have any criminal record, or that I'm capable of financing my own studies. So during my third year of studies in Maastricht, I have received an invitation for the open days, which I attended because every master's program has an open day. After watching master programs which interests me, I submitted my application. Master days and open days usually happen somewhere in September/October, usually also in November, but it really depends on the program. And I was an early bird. As I said, I submitted my application for Utrecht and Amsterdam on the 12th of October, on my birthday. For the submission, I submitted my resume with my work experience, my motivational letter, so my current grade transcript, and my future plans for life. Like, do I want to do my PhD or my research, or do I want to do a corporate job, and so on and so on. As I said, I submitted 3 neuroscientific programs, 2 neuroscientific programs and 1 biomedical program with a neurology track. And then I also submitted my application for the innovation sciences program. They didn't ask me to have any English test because my bachelor degree was also in English, so it was fine from that perspective. And the innovation sciences program also asked me to submit my paper, which I wrote for my philosophical course, and to show the research I can do and the academical skills I have. The results came somewhere in December/January. I was rejected from Utrecht University for the neuroscience and cognition program. I was immediately accepted to the cognitive sciences at UvA, so at Amsterdam, and I also was immediately accepted for the innovation sciences program at Utrecht. After all my programs, which I got admitted to, required me to graduate, so basically to do my thesis and to obtain my bachelor degree. And I think this was the only condition I had for that. Also, some universities ask you to have 8+ on your thesis, so this is about A+. But this is, as far as I remember, this condition was only from technological universities and also from Vrije University at Amsterdam. Also, an important note, if you are going to pursue a technological degree in Eindhoven, Twente or Delft, most likely you would need to have a pre-master, as those programs require very technical background. And this is the place where you usually go from Eindhoven to Delft, for example, or vice versa. So those universities really work in a collaboration and in a very close tandem. Honestly, when I got the decision on my master's, I thought that I'm gonna do cognitive sciences at UvA at Amsterdam. But after some thought, I decided to do innovation sciences, as this one is more business degree. And innovation sciences is basically how you can take science and convert that into innovations and into businesses, and I do not regret taking this program in a bit. It's an amazing program, and if you're interested in innovations and technologies and how those things impact life and overall academia, this is the best course and the best program you can take. After you got admitted, conditionally admitted, you need to submit your documentation to university, your passport, your visa situation, tuition, also pay your tuition, of course. This all happens somewhere in spring, but it really depends on the university. And the thing is that usually university will send you an email with all details, and thus I'm not going to speak about that because, I will just confuse you, and it's really university specific. But overall, the deadline is the following, the process is the following. You start somewhere in autumn, so in October-ish, if you're an early bird. You receive your answer if everything is good and you are immediately accepted in December, January. If not, you will receive your answer somewhere in May. You have an opportunity to give your application till also April, May, depends on where you're from. Then the whole spring and also start of the summer is the time when you do all the visa applications, you get your visa, you submit your passports, you pay your tuition and so on. You'll have your open days in August, and after that you will have your studies started somewhere in September, the first or the second week. There are some advice which I would like to give you before you study your master's degree application, and if you are interested in some details, please comment down below. I'm more than happy to share my resume or to share my motivational letter, as I don't want to keep this information for you, but to make sure it's relevant and useful, just comment that you want it. The first thing is you really need to stand out, and for that you need to find whom you are writing your motivational letter to. What do I mean is that you need to understand who is a board of admissions, and you need to write them emails saying how that you can basically help, or not how you can help, but the questions you might have about the program, so they will remember your name and that they will also remember that you exist and that you're very, very interested in pursuing a program. This is the email which I wrote to UvA when I thought that I'm gonna do neuroscience as my main master's degree. Second thought and advice: before starting your motivational letter, do a proper research. What do I mean by that? Go to your website of the university you have decided to do a master's in, and in there search their research, and always mention the surnames of professors who do the research on your faculty and the areas they do research in. For example, I knew that our faculty did a lot of research on the innovation sciences, and although I was really interested in supporting people in startups and incubations and developing those things, I especially mentioned that with the surname that I'm gonna do the research, as I now think I'm gonna do, in this specific field for my master's thesis. Always write not how you want to study, because this is obvious, you are doing an application for this degree, but how you can help the university. For example, you can help by working in the startup, if your university has startup incubations, or that you're gonna do the research in a field that the university has a huge funding or a huge program in, or that you are gonna, be a student supervisor, or that you are really active in some industry or some process which your university is really interested in. And as I said, if you want to see my resume or my motivational letter, hit the subscribe button and write a comment down below so I can send it to you, basically. As a final thought, I really, really recommend to consider studying in the Netherlands. Firstly, because it's an amazing experience and you will have a lot of international friends and a lot of networking and a lot of fun in this country, and it's just really amazing, and it's really, really gezellig, nice, as Dutch people say. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and thank you very much for your attention. Bye!